The Four Noble Truths, the Heart of the Buddha's Awakening. Introduction. The cry beneath the surface. There comes a moment in every life, a quiet hour, a sleepless night, a gaze into a mirror, when a question arises from deep within. Why is there suffering in this life? And is there a way out? This question is as ancient as it is personal. It rose in the heart of a young prince named Siddhartha as he left behind his palace, his comforts, his name, and even his identity to search for an answer. That answer came to him not in words, but in awakening. And from that awakening blossomed the core of all Buddhist wisdom. The Four Noble Truths. They are not doctrines to believe in. They are truths to be lived. And in their quiet, radical simplicity, they hold the power to completely transform a life, from restlessness to peace, from confusion to clarity, from suffering to liberation. Part 1. The First Truth. Dukkha. Understanding suffering. The first noble truth is simple, even blunt. There is suffering, but don't mistake simplicity for superficiality. This truth is not pessimism, it is honesty. It is the Buddha's radical invitation to see life as it really is, not as we wish it to be. Suffering, dukkha, takes many forms: the pain of loss, sickness, and death, the anxiety of impermanence, even in moments of joy, the restlessness of never quite being satisfied, the isolation of a mind constantly running from discomfort. It's the quiet ache behind the smile, the deep sigh after the party, the longing even in success. The Buddha did not teach suffering to depress us. He taught it so we could understand it, and from understanding, begin to wake up. When you name your pain, it no longer owns you. It becomes your teacher. In his own words, the Buddha said, "Birth is suffering, aging is suffering, illness is suffering, death is suffering, sorrow, lamentation, pain, grief, and despair are suffering." But he also said, to understand suffering is to take the first step toward freedom. We suffer not because life is cruel, but because we cling. We resist change. We expect permanence in a world that never stands still. We try to hold what cannot be held. Suffering is not a punishment. It is a call to awaken. Part 2. The Second Truth. Samudaya. The cause of suffering. If suffering exists, the next question is, why? The second noble truth offers the answer. There is a cause of suffering, and it is craving. This craving, tanha, is a deep thirst, a restless hunger in the heart. We crave pleasure, we crave control, we crave approval. We crave for things to stay the same. We crave to be someone. We crave not to be what we are. This is not just desire. It's the clinging, grasping energy that says, this moment is not enough. It is the constant, if only voice in our heads. If only I were richer, thinner, more loved, more powerful. If only this moment would last forever. If only I weren't me. The Buddha did not say that all desire is bad. He pointed to unwise, unhealthy craving, the kind that comes from ignorance of how reality works. The problem is not wanting a better life. The problem is believing that something outside of you will finally make you complete. And so we chase, we run, we consume. But the more we feed craving, the more it grows. Craving is like drinking salt water. The more you drink, the thirstier you become. The cause of suffering is not the world. It is our relationship to the world. How we cling, resist, and fear. To see craving clearly, is to begin to loosen its grip. Part 3, the third truth. Nirodha, the cessation of suffering. Here, the Buddha delivers the most hopeful, liberating, and revolutionary truth. There is an end to suffering. This is not a metaphor. It is not poetic. It is freedom. The cessation of suffering is called nirvana, which means blowing out or extinguishing, not the extinction of life, but the extinguishing of the fire of craving, hatred, and ignorance. This is not some heaven or afterlife. It is a state of being, right here, right now, where the heart no longer clings, where the mind is free from greed, and where presence is enough. When the mind is no longer divided by wanting, it returns to peace. Nirvana is not something added. It is what remains when illusion is removed. It is not becoming something more. It is becoming no one and realizing you are never lacking. The Buddha described nirvana in subtle ways. The unconditioned, the island beyond the flood, the peace beyond all understanding. And perhaps most beautifully, there is, monks, an unborn, unoriginated, uncreated, and unformed. Were there not this, there would be no escape from the born, the originated, the created, and the formed. This third truth assures us, you are not doomed to suffer. You are meant to awaken. Part 4, the fourth truth. Magga, the path to freedom. Having seen the problem, suffering, the cause, craving, and the possibility of freedom, nirvana, the Buddha now gives us the path. There is a way, a noble eightfold path that leads to the end of suffering. This path is not philosophy. It's not dogma. It is a way of living, seeing, and being that transforms suffering into wisdom, confusion into clarity, and fear into compassion. The Noble Eightfold Path includes right view, understanding the Four Noble Truths, right intention, commitment to compassion and renunciation, right speech, speaking truthfully and kindly, right action, ethical conduct, do no harm, right livelihood, earning a living without exploitation, right effort, cultivating wholesome states, right mindfulness, awareness of body, feelings, mind, and reality, right concentration, deep meditative focus and clarity. This path is not linear. It's a living spiral, each part strengthening the others. The path does not lead you somewhere else. It leads you back to yourself, cleared of illusion. This path is how ordinary people awaken, not by escaping life, but by entering it fully, skillfully, and consciously, living the truths, from concept to awakening. Understanding the Four Noble Truths is not an academic exercise. They are a mirror, and you are invited to look in. They are a medicine, but only you can take it. So how do we live them? Begin by noticing suffering, without judgment. Let pain be a teacher. Watch the craving mind, not with shame, but with kindness. Taste moments of letting go, when peace arises naturally. Walk the path, in small ways, with steady steps. You don't need to become a monk. You don't need to renounce everything. You only need to become honest, present, and compassionate, one breath at a time. When you understand suffering deeply, you don't need to escape life. You are finally free to live it. A message from the Buddha to you. If the Buddha could speak to you now, not as a teacher, but as a friend, perhaps he would say, "Dear one, I know you are tired. I know life has broken your heart more than once. I know you've chased after things that never truly fed your soul. But please don't despair. Suffering is not your enemy, it is your path. Come sit, breathe, look gently within. You are not far from awakening. You are not separate from peace. The path is simple. It begins where you are. The truth is noble. It lives in your very breath. You don't need to believe in me. You only need to believe in your ability to wake up. Conclusion. This is the beginning. The Four Noble Truths are not the end of the Buddha's teaching. They are the beginning of yours. They are the foundation of every insight, every meditation, every peace-filled moment that will follow. You don't have to understand them all at once. You only have to start noticing, feeling, walking. The truths are not far away. They are in your sorrow, in your joy, in your craving, in your quiet moments of clarity. They are with you now, and if you listen deeply, they will take you home. Thank you for reading. If this article touched your heart and awakened a spark within you, please like, share with someone who may be searching. Subscribe to continue walking this beautiful path of inner freedom. Let the Four Noble Truths guide you, not just to a better life, but to a freer, truer life.